Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Christy here to do the extended monthly forecast for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So this is for May 2018. I hope that you enjoyed your readings for April. You did have an extended monthly forecast and then a reading for all signs mid-month, and it was spectacular. I'm so glad that I followed my instinct and did it for all signs because it was just so liberating to see that everyone all signs can benefit from the messages that were found there. So this is for Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, and Taurus Rising for May 2018. I hope that everyone is feeling good and enjoying spring. This is a general reading for your signs. So whatever is most prominent in your life, I encourage you to take these messages and apply them to, and I hope that you find them helpful and healing. I'm doing a 6-card spread today with the Good Tarot deck. And of course, I'll let a jumper card come out of each of the Oracle decks here, the Medicine card deck and the Wisdom of the Oracle. We won't be using bottom of the deck for general energy just because our pressing concern spread today does include an underlying energy position. So we are looking at a pressing concern or issue for Taurus for the month of May. And you probably know that I only take jumper cards from my Oracle decks, and I will be splitting the deck here in just a moment for you, Taurus, and we'll get your 6 cards out. Does Taurus need to know? So these all have their own positions. I'll give you a nice little overview from what I'm seeing here before getting into it. Look at this, just beautiful, Taurus, wowsy, whoa. I can tell already that you're probably reminiscing about something right here. You might feel a little bit forlorn. There could be a Taurus, another Taurus, Capricorn or Virgo in your environment. If this isn't your energy, it could be someone who's a little bit overbearing in your environment. But they could also be your soulmate right now. So you could have, there's a lot of emotional energy right now in the month of May for you. You could have to get to the bottom of something this month with your soulmate is what I'm seeing just at first glance here. Let us look at the cards in their position. The underlying energy for the reading is walking away from emotional chaos. You can probably see this guy or woman has his back or her back turned to us. They have their treasure with them. They're looking for their ship to come in so they can take off. I know that the ship is coming in because the sails are blowing towards shore. So you're about to leave something emotionally here. But it's probably filled with a few regrets, or there is a focus on regrets here. So underlying energy for the month of May for you, Taurus, is a little bit heavy here. It is above the King of Earth as well. So this could have to do with this other individual, another Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn in your environment. It could be that they are having to do with this type of energy. Either they have to walk away, they're walking away, or you have to really come to terms with or to peace with the emotional walking away from something. Maybe this person is just emotionally unavailable to you. If this is your energy, however, this is something that you're going to have to come to terms with because it's going to create a weight for you. Anytime we have water mixed with earth here, what we do, especially with a court card here, this is generally another person in your environment. This is very weighty, someone who's going to, whether they're aware of it or not, listen, I'm not playing a blame game, and really who has time for that? It's not about blame and shame. It's really about responsibility and acceptance, right? Like, what do you accept and what are you responsible for? And then what does the other person accept and responsible for? So if this has to do strictly with you, Taurus, I'm going to suggest that this is an emotional walking away from. If this is about another person and this is about at least one other individual that you're in a relationship with, whether it's business, whether it's romance or anything in between, there's going to be some discord here, some emotional or harmonic discord within an emotional environment. In your heart of the reading is more water. So the Page of Cups, this is really just talking about, the language of love, the language of compassion. Someone's not listening to you. You're not being heard, or you're not listening to them and you're not hearing them. But there's a mixed message here on an emotional level. And again, we have this over the soulmates card, more cups, the Two of Water, where you're supposed to be equals, right? It doesn't matter if it's a relationship. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter where this is playing out. In a soulmate environment, whether this is your relationship, a friend, a colleague, you're supposed to be able to speak the same language here. And maybe at one time you were, or maybe you can again. This isn't the future position, remember. But there needs to be a meeting of the hearts here. You could have lots of meeting of the mind. You could even be traveling together, going in the literal same direction together. You could have lots of things in common, but there's something emotional here that has been withdrawn. And it's unsettling, because this is a past energy and you used to have it all together. It could even just be like a really insignificant fight or disagreement and you have to make up and come to terms with something, but it's going to be with either you or the other person who's emotionally unavailable right now. And that's too bad, because the Page of Water is really saying you really knew the desire is there for at least one person to speak the same language compassionately with the other person. But someone's not being heard or someone's not being listened to. As I mentioned, the past energy of the Ten of Cups, this is the beautiful, happy home. Everyone's happy, everyone's content. This plays out in an emotional sense. So this is really, and yeah, you can probably see here like the chubby Buddha. I mean, with a smile on his face, this is just pure contentedness, whether or not this is a soulmate relationship, whether this is happening within for you. In any environment, it is a general reading, so of course take all messages to your advantage, apply it as you see fit. But in your past energy, something was really wonderful, something was really on the ball. You definitely saw eye to eye. You both had each other's backs. Lots of positivity here. Gaining emotional ground with one another, really seeing eye to eye here. Emotional fulfillment. But this is in your past energy. The future energy is this person, right? So I feel very strongly you're dealing with Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. Individual is going to be a mature individual, someone who's over 30. It doesn't have to be a man, it can be a woman. But if it isn't, and this is just an energy, I just want to throw out that this is someone who has a lot of financial clout, someone who is very adept at making and saving and using money, whatever that means to you. Someone who could be in banking or finance. Someone who is well established. Not necessarily even in your own life, but someone in the community as well. And there could be, I wouldn't say a spiritual leader here. This isn't the King of Fire, which is the spiritual leader, but there could be some sort of religious foundation or religious mastery here, which I'm going to be really blunt and say that is not necessarily spiritual, okay? Just throwing that out there. In other words, someone who could be rather dogmatic, someone who could be, and again, it's not always a bad thing either, but someone who's dogmatic without spirituality can be quite rigid. There could be a rigidity here and an unwillingness to change. So lots of good points, but the negative points are kind of like they're a bummer. It means like someone may not be available. Someone may not be willing to grow emotionally here or listen to you or understand you the way that you need to be understood. Someone who recognizes that you did have something together that was really wonderful and I hate to believe that you were being tricked into something here as well. Like everything's fine, and you sort of bought this emotional world or influence or understanding, hook, line, and sinker. And I'm saying that because we're dealing with so much water, so that's a fish terminology. And that they're kind of like, and maybe they aren't aware either. They're doing it and they're not aware. Again, no shame, no blame. But, you know, the fact that they are doing it is the fact that it's like a type of theft. It's like emotional unavailability, not understanding one another, or being willing to speak the same language from the heart or emotions. Having had something really wonderful with this person or by yourself, but having this person or energy not be flexible in the way that you need them to be right now, because the future is the Two of Cups. This is the soulmate card. This is really seeing eye to eye. So I see a lot of progress here. It's just that they need to become aware of how maybe stagnant or how dogmatic they can be. And maybe a stickler right now. I mean, maybe they could be so practical, they're not seeing the use or the wellness or the strength in the soulmate connection or the emotional world. In fact, many times the Taurus, the Virgo, or the Capricorn energies can be quite rejective of emotional fulfillment, or not find a lot of value in it because it's considered, say it with me, it's considered weak, right? This, you know, real, true, deep understanding and penetrative love and fulfillment and prosperity here on an emotional level is sometimes too rich, or it's too much for some people. And we sing about it and we talk about it, but it doesn't seem as valued, for example, as, you know, the Pentacles, which is, you know, finance and earthly riches and earthly comforts and all that stuff. But I mean, we have to have that nice balance here. I think the Two is calling for a balance. We do have the Two following it with the Justice. 11, we have 1 + 1 here. So there is a real call, because this is your advice card. There is a real call to find a meeting of the heart here. This is your major arcana, and I'm just going to get a main word or a keyword for this card, just because I think it's really important, because the author of this deck, I love the artwork, but she mixed up some of her original messages here, and I just want to be clear about what she's writing about. And this is a karmic card. It's cause and effect. There is a balance. I think so much of it is just like bringing things back into a balance. The Justice is her weighing something out. Okay, something needs to be rebalanced here, but you simply can't do it alone. So if you're feeling the weight of this, don't feel like it's all in your mind, or you're reading into how this person is behaving, if they're dogmatic right now, or if it's difficult to move forward on an emotional level. We're looking at, you know, karmic law of attraction. Rest assured, Taurus, right now, that whatever they aren't pulling their weight on, or whatever they're taking from you, or however unavailable they are being, it will not serve them. It will be proven. It'll be a humbling that they'll have to contend with. And I truly think things will turn in the direction they're supposed to. I wouldn't play any karmic games here or try to get back at anyone either. Like, just, you know, watch yourself, take care of yourself, you do you. And this meeting of the minds can only happen if this person is willing to have this conversation with you. But justice will prevail here. This is your advice card. Cause and effect. Stay positive. Stay confident here. Like I said, it's amazing when people try to get one over on another person, or, you know, being right is more important, that type of thing. It's like that type of stuff always proves itself to be humbling, because kindness is king, right? Kindness is king. And maybe this is the opportunity for this person to show that to you. So here in your oracle cards, we have woman medicine. This is really emotional, very emotionally impactful and content energy here with the otter. So stay in your truest medicine here. Stay, whether you're a man or a woman watching. I mean, you're ruled by Venus. Don't let someone take the goodness from you. Look at that. Look at this 10 of water or 10 of cups with the emotional fulfillment, beautiful family, having everything you need. Look at that as your measure of success, and keep striving for that, because if you've already had it, you can have it again. And I think that the otter, being a water animal, this is also the coquette. So we're dealing with understanding things from an emotional level as well. Also, there could be some sensual influence here as well. Maybe this is how you're going to get through to the other person, or the language that they're going to speak. But just remember too that they are available to you. You don't just want to play sensual games right now either. Like, you want emotional, you crave this emotional fulfillment. So don't accept less. Here with co-create, this is really lovely. We have some major themes. There's something that's being put off right now. Anytime I see a bird on a wire, even this is a level of wisdom as well. So you could be feeling as though you have to put your truest ideals or your truest goals and dreams on hold. I wouldn't do that right now. I would ask for help from your co-creator, God, source, Gaia, your spiritual guides, your animal, your totem guides, you know, whatever language you speak in the world of spirituality right now, you know, really rely on that right now. Follow your truest pursuit, your truest dreams, because I really feel that this soulmate condition for you, this future card, will be available to you when you take care of yourself, okay? So don't read into things with this other person, or try to be the only person who's trying to patch things up or really press a conversation here. This person will or won't come to you to do this with you, and that will be your sign. That'll be, you know, if they make themselves emotionally available to you, you can move forward. The karma will be paid. If they're not going to do that and they're not going to make themselves available to you, same thing. Now you know where you stand. You can move forward. So really take care of yourself this month, particularly emotionally, Taurus. Stay in the light. If you've had something wonderful, you can have it again. And your soulmate may not be who you think it is. Don't play down and low games right now. Stay in your truest self. Foundations and security are nice, but make sure you're not being played by dogmatic authority right now. You need a little bit of flexibility around emotions and spirituality right now while having your feet on the ground. So I really wish you the best. Don't read into what other people are doing so much either. Really stay in your own head, your own heart, and recognize that things will be sorted out here probably by the end of May for you. Just direct yourself accordingly toward emotional fulfillment, and try not to let anyone drag you down here, because there is a soulmate connection that is available to you here. So I hope that was helpful and you enjoyed it. I will see you in a few weeks. Until then, take excellent care of yourselves, Taurus. Bye for now.